Hello, Williamsburg Landing. Welcome to Tai Chi and Qi Kong. My name is Stan Rockwell. We're going to do our usual warm-up. I know we did it sitting down last week. You can do it sitting down again if you want to. And after our warm-up, we're going to do a relatively short Qi Kong form that was developed by a Tai Chi Qi Kong master named Bosem Mark, and she's been practicing for many years. Start off by getting your posture, your balance, and your breathing. Foundation and visible on around the outsides of your feet. Feet parallel about shoulder width apart. Nice and connected to the floor or to the earth if you're outside. With visualization, you can visualize right on down through the floor into the earth. You can visualize those roots growing into the earth, that energetic connection from the bubbling wells in the center of the forefoot down into the earth. Just remember, have your arches up high enough so your knees are pointed in the same direction as your toes. Knees are always going to be pointed in the same direction as the toes, even when we're standing like this. And the knee in the front's always going to be behind the toes. Once you're connected downwards, you connect yourself upwards. That bow waist spot, you can have a line attached there pulling you up, or an energetic connection pulling you up, stretching you upwards, making you taller, stacking your vertebrae on top of each other, and adjusting your body so the tops of your hips are parallel to the floor, tailbone drops, hips move back a little bit, flattens out your stomach and your lower back. But remember that 70% rule and staying in your comfort zone rule. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, you just relax into whatever feels best for you. Tops of your shoulders are parallel to the floor. They sink down a center line. Imaginary line across your eyes and ears is parallel to the floor. And your head gets nice and balanced on your shoulders, so it's not tilted to any side or to the front or to the back. And I hope you've been doing those body scans periodically from time to time and seeing how your head's balanced on your shoulders, and if you feel any tightness anywhere, and just breathe into it, let it soften. Drop a line from that bow waist spot down through the center of your body, through the perineum, and aim for the end to hit the floor right in the middle of your foundation. So you're nice and centered and in harmony with gravity. Focus on your breathing now. Just inhale down to your diaphragm, pulling your diaphragm down. When you exhale, pull the pelvic floor up to move as much air out as you can. But remember, even with the breathing, you don't have to inhale as deeply as you can. You also do that 70% rule with the breathing. Touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth. If you exhale through your mouth, you just release the tongue and sigh when you breathe out. With that sound, you let whatever tightness, whatever tension is inside just flow out and away from you. And it just dissipates and goes away. So just breathe at your own pace, making the exhale last a little bit longer than the inhale. And if you feel any tightness anywhere in your body, just breathe into it and let it soften. And let all the muscles in your face relax, all the muscles around your eyes, your mouth, they all just soften. And then just follow me. Arms float up with your palms facing as you inhale. Exhale as you drop the elbows, press in, push your head back a little bit to feel some movement in your neck. Turn your hands, you press out, you feel those arms lengthen out. But again, stay in your comfort zone. If anything bothers you, just relax back until you can smile when you're doing it. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. One more. Back to the center, arms come up again. One hand drops down, palm faces towards the floor, a little bit of a bend in the wrist. Activate that acupressure point. Other arm folds over, shoulders nice and relaxed. Logon point lines up with upper dantian or third eye. Keep those 2 points connected as you turn your head, moving your arm 70% of your range of motion to that side. As you come back to the center, Orion comes up, palms face briefly, and you go to the other side. It's an inhale and an exhale. Inhale and exhale. We'll do one more on each side. Back to the center, let your arms come down. And for your neck, we'll do one more. Turn to the side, drop your chin, roll right across the bottom, but don't press it down, then come straight across the center. It's an exhale, and an inhale, and one more. And then just to the other side. To the center. The next couple are for your shoulders. Next 2 or 3 are for your shoulders. Remember, if you have rotator cuff issues and you need to rotate your arms so your palms are facing behind you so you can make circles with your elbows to move your shoulders just a bit. But if your shoulders are okay, you just make circles going forward to begin. Just remember to breathe down to your abdomen. And then reverse. Just relax. Let your arms float up with your palms facing down. They turn to face up. They fold over. Palms face diagonally downward towards you and press down. It's an inhale and an exhale. One more. Arms up, fingers point straight up. If you can, you bring your forearms and your palms together. If that causes you issues, just let your elbows relax out. But this is again for the shoulders, also the upper back and upper chest. Inhale and exhale. Then just pause for your elbows, reach out, let those arms extend outwards, all the joints expand out, but you keep some softness in your elbow, you don't fully extend your arm. Also, when you bring your hands back, you don't fully compress your elbows. Always keep some bend in the elbows and in the knees. So inhale back and an exhale out. And when your fingers are pointed straight up, just pause there for your wrists. You let your hands tilt towards and away from you. And then towards and away from each other. And then circles in one direction. In the other direction. Hold your fingers over, thumbs on the outside. So you have those nice, soft, Tai Chi fists that come to rest by your hips. You reach, you punch. You let that arm extend outwards, open the hand, fingers extend outwards, curl, fingers in, pull back. It's an exhale and an inhale. And then flex your fingers a little bit, bring them so the fingers are facing right even with your belt or your hips. And this is going to be part of the form we're going to do in a few minutes. And it's also something Harvard calls Tai Chi Anywhere, where you just inhale, your fingers extend outwards, your hands expand. As you exhale, hands come back. So inhale, and an exhale, and one more. Just relax your hands. Back to the center, holding a ball, arm, upper arm, the elbows drop lower than the shoulder, lower hand rotates out, presses up. Brain presses down to get some stretch in your back as you inhale to the center and exhale out. Come back to the center. And if you're with us last time, you know that the one we're about to do, when you do it seated, it really helps you if your form is what it needs to be. Because you don't want to be turning all the way like that. When you turn like that, you have to bend your knees. Otherwise, you put really a lot of pressure on your knees. You only want to turn from the hips up. So I've got this hand on top, so I'm going to turn till the hands line up with the hip on that side, then rotate the hands, keeping the palms facing. Go to the hip on the other side. And synchronize the breathing, so I'm inhaling in one direction and exhaling in the other. Do one more. Back to the center. Hands go out to the side. We're going to be doing some balance work. Right now, my center is right in the middle of the foundation. When I shift all my weight into one foot, I'm going to be perpendicular over this foot. And this is called a substantial foot. It's holding all my weight. It's my foundation. There's no weight in this foot at all. So put hands out to the side like I'm going to press into a wall. Just bring that foot out a little bit to feel some movement in your hip. You don't have to step very far. Remember, if you have any issues with hips, just follow whatever your doctor or therapist said to do. Just take it nice and easy and flow into it. You don't press. 70% rule applies to everything. And that 70% increases over time as you get stronger and more flexible. You get healthier, you get more fit, but you don't get injured. You stay healthy and fit. Palms facing down. Again, shift all your weight into one foot. Hands go back a little bit. One foot goes forward, heel touches. Hands come back to the center. If you need to rebalance, you touch your forefoot down. Arms go forward, forefoot touches in the back. And again, you don't have to move your foot very far. If you feel comfortable with your balance, you don't even have to touch your foot down. Again, you do whatever is with your capability at this moment. Same thing other side. This one always reminds me of a clock with a pendulum swinging. For your knees, have your toes pointed towards the corner, a little bit of space between your heels. Fists at your hips. Shift all your weight into one foot. So again, shifting it to this side, so that's my foundation. No weight in the other foot. Opposite arm's going to counterbalance. They go out together. Forearm reaches out. Forefoot touches in the front and back. It's an exhale. And inhale. And back to the center. The second one for your knees is going into that forward bow stance of just the feet is shifting your weight, turning that forefoot, bringing your foot forward just a little bit. Keeping your knees lined up, shifting your weight into it, and knee behind the toes. The arm is just reaching out to punch and rotating it as you do. So shift your weight over, step, shift your weight, punch, let everything stretch. I think this is the one that gives me the best stretch of all of these. Sometimes unintentionally kind of give myself a chiropractic adjustment, particularly in the neck. But remember that principle of song, everything expanding outwards and then coming back. The Chinese, it's yin-yang principle. Last one. And back. Feet are parallel again. Shift all your weight into one foot. For your ankle, it's heel and toe. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And then for the lateral motion, you just pick a spot on the floor, same spot as close as you can, the outside and the inside of the foot touch. That way you're isolating the ankle. If you do it like that, you're moving the hips. So you just want to move that ankle around a little bit. And again, if you have issues with your ankle, stay in your comfort zone. And shift your weight over, being very gentle with your knees and hips and ankles. First you make a circle in one direction, and in the other direction. Same thing other side. And then the other way. Come back to the center. We are going to do a little bit of the weight shift from one side to the other. A little bit more balance work. And all your weight gets into one foot, the other foot, the heel naturally comes up. You just let that toe float up a little bit, but you stay nice and relaxed and centered over this foot. You need to have your hand on a chair or the wall, that's okay. And then over to the other side. Make sure you have your eyes focused on something that's not moving. Come to, especially if you're doing this with someone else, if they start to sway and you're watching them, odds are your mirror neurons will kick in and you'll start to sway too. Over to the other side. Got a bird watching. And we'll just let the heel float up like you've taken a step. Again, these are things you can practice anytime. Posture, your balance, and breathing. Other side. Come back to the center. We'll do this one at the end. The name of the Qigong sequence is called Rooting Pine. And you're going to be like a tree that's kind of swaying. You look at it from the side. I'm going to put my toes on a line here. Heel are just over the line. But you get nice and balanced, but you're going to, at the ankles, as you inhale, move forward. As you exhale, you move back. So if you have that pendulum hanging down, it goes from a line just inside the tips of your toes back to a line just inside your heels. It's an inhale and an exhale. So the whole time you're doing this, you're strengthening your feet, you're strengthening your ankles, you're working on your balance, you're giving yourself a bit of a foot massage. And it can be very soothing and relaxing. It's like rocking yourself to calm, to comfort. It's what we always are sure to teach college kids. So just focus on that for a second to get comfortable with it. Bring your hands so your fingers are facing. You press up. You stretch up a little bit. One hand comes down. This logon point's lined up with that ba way. The other hand is palm facing towards the floor and the shoulders nice and relaxed. And as you inhale forward and exhale back, typically you do it about multiples of 3, and I haven't been counting, so I'm not sure how many we've done. Then you bring the hand down so the palm's facing towards that upper dantian or that third eye. 2, 3. Hand drops down the middle dantian, and you can experiment with this and try it a couple ways. Some folks put their hand directly on the chest. I like to have mine out a little bit. It seems to give me more feedback in my hands when I do it that way. And after a few times, hand drops down to the lower dantian. And you keep rocking. Really massages that bubbling well too, which if you remember, it's the first point on the kidney meridian. Hand out to the side. Hands back, they press up. Then we balance it out, doing the same thing on the other side. Just make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed. Down to the upper dantian, and the wrist and the lower hand there's a bend in it, so you've activated that acupressure point in your wrist. Down to the middle dantian. And then the lower dantian. Just remember to breathe in when you rock forward and breathe out when you rock back. And you bring your hands in, and this is, you keep rocking. When we did a little bit before, on the inhale, as you rock forward, your hands expand. On the exhale, when you rock back, they come back to where they were. So it's inhale, hands expand, exhale, they come back. Inhale, as you rock forward, exhale, rock back. Hands back out to the side, you keep rocking, make fist. Arms go out, and again you keep bending your elbows, some softness in your shoulders, but as you rock forward, shoulders, elbows, wrists expand, and then they come back. So inhale, exhale, expanding out, and back. The next one is kind of a lower back massage. You're going to make a fist with one hand. And you're going to grab your wrist, and as you rock, you just massage first in one direction. And then the other direction. Just kind of massage it down a little bit. Hands come out to the side, keep rocking. You make a fist with the other hand, come back. Same thing, massaging in one direction. And the other direction. And come back to the side. And this is a really modified horse riding stance. And you come back to stillness. And if you want to use this as a standing meditation, you can hold this for however long you want. Then at the end, inhale up, exhale down, balance everything out. Back to center, and that's rooting pine. It's you can make it as short or as long as you want, but it does really give you a nice foot massage. It works your balance. If you pay attention to how the bottoms of your feet feel as you're rocking, it also helps improve your balance by helping those connections between the soles of your feet and your brain get more fully aware and connected with each other. So you know where you are in space and how your feet are connected to the earth. I'm going to finish it off with a little three-parter where first you tense everything up. You can come up on your toes if you want to as you inhale. As you exhale, you just let everything relax. All the tension just flow out of your body, out of your fingers and toes, down into the earth. So inhale, tense up. Exhale. One more. A little bit of balance. This is the one we didn't do earlier. Just drop your hand on your thigh, help loosen up your leg a little bit. You just drop your hand on it. You don't hit your leg. You just let it drop. If you're working on balance, you can just hold it for however long you want. Bring your foot down, and then again, balance everything out at the end. Inhale up, and exhale. We'll just do 3. Back to the center. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe, healthy, well, and I will see you next time. Take care.